Did you know that the everyday purchases we make could be the biggest obstacle to achieving financial independence? While millionaires think strategically and avoid unnecessary expenses, many of us get trapped in habits that drain our finances without even realizing it. In today's video, we're revealing 10 things millionaires never buy, but that are holding back those trying to build wealth. If you're ready to adopt the financial mindset of the rich and transform your life, stick around until the end, because this change starts now. 1. Products purchased in installments with interest. Many people, especially those with lower incomes, resort to buying consumer goods such as electronics, furniture, clothing, and even luxury items in installments with interest. What seems like a convenient solution, paying in small monthly amounts, often results in paying a much higher total cost than the original price. For example, a product costing $1,000 may end up costing over $1,200 or $1,300 due to an interest rate of 4% per month. The consequence is that people end up paying a hidden tax that erodes their purchasing power. Over time, this habit of accumulating debt through high interest payments prevents them from building enough capital to invest in assets that generate returns. Millionaires, on the other hand, rarely buy something they cannot pay for outright or that doesn't provide immediate financial returns. They understand that paying interest on financed purchases is essentially wasting money. Instead, they prefer to save and pay in cash or only use installment plans if there are no interest fees, allowing them to maximize the value of their money. 2. Expensive brand name clothing without necessity. There is significant social pressure to appear successful, and many people with lower incomes spend large sums on brand name clothing and accessories, even if they cannot truly afford these items. This is especially true in societies that place high value on external appearances and status. Wearing designer brands might provide a temporary feeling of success or belonging, but financially, it is an ineffective choice. By spending on luxury clothing that often adds no value beyond the logo, people drain resources that could be used for investments and wealth building. Millionaires take a completely different approach. They are not swayed by societal pressure to impress others. Instead of spending money on expensive clothes to signal status, they prioritize investing in quality and longevity, buying pieces that last a long time and serve a functional purpose. In many cases, they don't even see value in designer brands, preferring to wear simple and comfortable clothing, saving thousands over the years by reinvesting that money in productive assets. 3. New cars purchased with financing. Buying a new car is one of the worst financial decisions a person with a low income can make, especially if it's financed. As soon as the vehicle leaves the dealership, it begins to depreciate rapidly, by about 20% to 30% in the first year alone. If this purchase is financed, the buyer is paying interest on an asset that is losing value quickly. As a result, the final cost of the car can be much higher than its market value a few years later, on top of ongoing expenses like maintenance, fuel, insurance, and taxes. Millionaires understand that a car is, in most cases, a liability, not an asset. They avoid buying new cars, instead opting for used models that have already experienced the bulk of their depreciation but are still in excellent condition. Additionally, they frequently buy cars with cash, avoiding the interest associated with financing. By saving money on an asset that depreciates, millionaires are able to invest that money in assets that appreciate, such as real estate, stocks, or businesses. 4. Latest electronic gadgets. With aggressive marketing from tech companies, many consumers are drawn to the latest releases of smartphones, laptops, TVs, and other gadgets, even when their older devices are still functioning perfectly well. This creates a continuous cycle of spending, as technological upgrades typically offer only incremental improvements, which do not justify the premium prices charged for new models. Moreover, electronics depreciate rapidly, becoming obsolete in just a few months or years. Millionaires, in contrast, do not feel pressured to always own the latest gadget. They use their devices for much longer, only replacing them when absolutely necessary. When they do purchase, they focus on functionality and cost-effectiveness. For them, spending money on rapidly depreciating technology is seen as a poor use of capital, preferring instead to invest that money in opportunities that generate financial returns, such as shares in tech companies themselves. 5. Lotteries and gambling. Millions of people regularly spend small amounts of money on lotteries and gambling, believing that they are simply taking a chance. However, the math is against them. The odds of winning large prizes in lotteries are extremely low, and the money spent over time can add up to a significant amount. For instance, someone who spends $10 a week on lotteries can spend $520 a year, which could have been invested in something more productive. Millionaires do not rely on luck to get rich. They know that wealth is built through discipline, strategy, and intelligent investing, not through gambling. Instead of putting money into lotteries, they put that same amount into stocks, real estate, or businesses that generate returns. This reflects a difference in mindset. While some see wealth building as a matter of luck, millionaires see it as the result of deliberate, calculated actions. 6. Unnecessary subscriptions. Nowadays, many people have multiple recurring subscriptions, including streaming services, gyms, product boxes, and apps. While these individual costs might seem small, they can add up significantly over time, especially when people are paying for services they don't use regularly or that don't add meaningful value to their lives. Millionaires are highly conscious of where their money is going. They regularly review their expenses and cut any subscriptions that aren't providing tangible benefits, whether in terms of health, education, or financial returns. This is part of their mentality of controlling resources. Even small expenses can be optimized to free up more capital for investments. By making more selective choices, they keep their cash flow focused on long-term goals. 7. Frequent dining out. Eating at restaurants or ordering delivery regularly may seem like a convenient solution, but it is a fast way to spend more than necessary. The cost of a restaurant meal is significantly higher than preparing the same meal at home, and over the course of a month, it can become a substantial expense. For those trying to accumulate wealth, these costs can be a major obstacle, as a significant portion of their monthly budget goes to expenses that could easily be reduced. Millionaires, even though they can afford to eat out whenever they want, typically prefer to prepare their own meals at home. They understand that small, daily savings add up over time and create more opportunities for investment. By limiting dining out to special occasions, they save money and use the extra cash to allocate toward assets that grow over time. 8. Latest generation smartphones. Buying the latest smartphone every time a new model is released is a common habit among many consumers, especially those wanting to keep up with the latest trends. However, top-of-the-line smartphones can cost thousands of dollars, and the upgrades from one model to the next are often not significant enough to justify the expense. People with lower incomes often feel pressured to have the newest phone, even if it strains their finances. Millionaires, on the other hand, tend to use their phones for much longer. They are not influenced by the need to have the latest, unless there is a practical or professional justification for it. They understand that by delaying the purchase of a new phone, they are saving money that can be redirected into something that generates financial returns, such as investments or reinvesting in their businesses. 9. Financing consumer goods. Buying items like electronics, furniture, and luxury goods through financing is a common practice for those with limited income, but it severely compromises their ability to save. Financing consumer goods often comes with high interest rates, which means that the consumer ends up paying much more than the original value of the item. This results in a significant loss of purchasing power. Millionaires prefer to pay in cash or delay the purchase until they can do so without straining their finances. They know that every cent spent on interest is money that could be generating returns through investments. By avoiding financing, they maintain control over their spending and prioritize building assets that generate passive income instead of accumulating liabilities that drain resources. 10. Impulse purchases and unnecessary sales. Many people fall into the trap of impulse buying, especially when lured by sales and promotions. The mindset of, "I can't miss this opportunity," leads to unnecessary purchases of items that bring no real value or utility in the long run. Promotions are a marketing tactic to drive quick sales, and lower-income individuals often spend money on items they didn't need, simply because they were on sale. Millionaires are extremely disciplined when it comes to shopping. They avoid impulse buying and are not swayed by discounts that don't add value to their lives or businesses. Before purchasing something, they carefully evaluate whether the item is truly necessary or if the money would be better invested in something more productive. This level of control over consumption helps them maintain a healthy cash flow and continue accumulating wealth. These 10 spending behaviors reveal a pattern. While lower-income individuals often spend impulsively and on things that depreciate or add little value, millionaires are focused on long-term goals, maintaining control over their spending and investing in assets that appreciate over time. This type of financial discipline makes all the difference in the ability to accumulate wealth and achieve financial independence. Now that you've seen the 10 things millionaires avoid, it's clear that building wealth isn't just about making more money. It's about making smarter decisions with the money you already have. By changing these everyday habits, you're not just cutting unnecessary costs, you're paving the way for financial freedom. Remember, wealth is built over time through discipline, strategy, and a mindset focused on growth. The question now is, are you ready to take control of your financial future? Start making these changes today and watch your wealth grow tomorrow. Let's build a legacy together.